Good evening and welcome to Sensual Talk. This is where we explore all things related to sensuality and pleasure. I'm your host, Emanuela Fernandes. If you ever wanted to capture the essence of your feminine beauty in the most tasteful, understated yet tantalizing way, a boudoir photo shoot could be the very thing you need. Rarely explicit and always glamorous boudoir photography has been gaining its popularity amongst women of all ages and sizes. Tonight, please welcome the wildly talented boudoir photographer who captured many sensual boudoir moments, Brad Walsh. Brad, good evening.
Good evening, Emanuela. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and an honor, actually. I've seen a few of your interviews and I'm watching them and seeing that all these people sitting in the chair, and now I'm actually one of those people in the chair being interviewed.
I am so excited to have you, Brad.
I'm excited to be here.
You know, this is really a monumental moment because I have been a fan of yours for many years and I love what you do. So thank you very much. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Dronish Media for sponsoring this evening's presentation. As always, they have been absolutely fantastic. And I want to thank you all for joining us for another episode of Sensual Talk. I am really excited to dive into this topic. So, you know, and we have been having this crazy heat wave here in Toronto, and it's wonderful to hang out in the backyard, just having fun and enjoying ourselves. But today we have something actually really spicy and sensual and hot to talk about.
Yes, we do.
So tonight we're talking about boudoir photography, and you're an expert.
Thank you.
What is boudoir photography?
Boudoir photography, well, the word boudoir in the literal sense means a woman's private dressing room or bedroom where she changes, gets ready for the day. But to me, boudoir photography is about having the ability to evoke emotion, inner beauty, sensuality, sexuality, and have the woman, my clients, own those feelings and bring them out. I have the ability with my camera to capture these moments and share them. So that to me is boudoir photography in a nutshell. Being able to bring those emotions out and capture them for my clients.
So there's so much more to boudoir photography than we actually realize, because there is that whole emotional aspect, which is something I love so much.
Yes.
Wow, that is very interesting. Now, what do women who come to you and they say, Brad, I want to be the subject, you know, of a boudoir shoot with you, what do they want to get from that?
A lot of my clients want to unleash their inner beauty, inner goddess. They want to be in that moment for that hour or 90 minutes they spend with me in the studio shooting. They want to embrace that. Now, a lot of women have said that they are doing this for themselves, but there are women who also say they're doing it for their partners. And one thing I like to stress with my clients is that first and foremost, a boudoir shoot should be for you. First and foremost, that's the most important thing, is for you. Your comfortability, your sexuality, your sensuality. Yes, you give that as a gift to your partner, but first and foremost, it should be about you and what you want out of it.
That is really interesting because, and I think it must be such an empowering experience because, you know, I've worked with quite a few, I've been very fortunate to work with quite a few photographers in my career, over the course of my career, right? And I mean, there's something so empowering once you are, you know, in front of a camera and the photographer makes you so comfortable and you are in your element and you are in the space where you can channel your inner goddess, you know, whatever that means to you, right?
Yes.
And I mean, what I love about boudoir photography is that it's not just for, you know, young and something that, you know, people would consider perfect, you know, according to the standards of our today's modern media, right? I mean, it is for everyone, which is such a cool thing.
It is. The age range is very, very wide. I will take clients from the age no younger than 21 up to 65. There's women who are of an older age that just want to recapture their beauty. So the age range is very wide.
Yeah, which is such a cool thing.
It is.
What about for you as a photographer? What's the most rewarding thing for you to do a boudoir shoot, other than, of course, watching, you know, a woman's beauty unfold?
I would have to say the most rewarding thing is probably at the very end, where I had to do the image reveal with my clients, show them the images that we created together and their reaction. Some of them, some comments, they can't believe it's them in those photos, and there's been tears of joy, there's been laughter, there's been happiness, there's been elation. It's that, to me, the woman's emotions when they see the images that we created, that is the most rewarding thing for me, absolutely, hands down, is seeing the happiness and elation.
Because probably women don't realize how good they actually look.
That's right. That's
on
right.
camera. And I mean, Brad is able to do that because like I said, I have been a fan of yours, and it's true. People don't realize how good they actually look on camera. You know, without a couple of extra layers of clothing.
Absolutely.
Because it's really about the angle and
That's
about
right.
the light and how you make them feel and how you make them look. And I think the setting, and you know, I know that the studio where you shoot, it's very, very kind of intimate, and at the same time it's very flattering to everyone.
Yes.
It's really quite amazing.
There's a lot of beautiful light in the studio I shoot at, and there's a lot of brick and wooden beams. The studio is just beautiful.
So what do you think is the secret, you know, to having a very successful boudoir photo shoot?
Secrets, I wouldn't say there's necessarily any secrets. I think there's three things that are most important in having a successful boudoir shoot. First and foremost is trust. The client has to trust me. Second of all is probably communication. There has to be good communication. I'm always, during a shoot, I'm always communicating with my client, showing them the back of the camera, to show them the images as we go that we're creating, so they can be a part. I want them part of everything, the whole process. So I'm constantly showing them images as we're shooting to keep them comfortable, talking to them throughout the shoot, making sure they're comfortable, because let's be honest, in a boudoir shoot, your body is going to be contorted in ways you're not used to. They say if after a boudoir shoot you're not sore, you're not doing it right.
Oh, is that
Yes,
right?
yes. So your body's going to be contorted in
realize
many
that.
different ways through posing and so forth. And the last thing is probably comfortability. Not in any necessary order of importance, but the client has to be comfortable in what they're doing. That's why through the process, from start to end, I make sure that they're comfortable. We start out with a pre-shoot consult. Well, from the initial inquiry about a shoot, then we go into, I do a pre-shoot consultation or meet the artist type call, a Skype call or phone call or in-person meeting. We talk about their wants and needs for the shoot, what they'd like to portray. I ask them questions, and this is an opportunity for them to ask me any questions, and I can dispel any myths or rumors or anything about boudoir photography. To the actual shoot, then of course the comfort level at the shoot, because let's be honest, women are in quite a vulnerable state. They're in next to nothing or lingerie, so they're very vulnerable and they're feeling uncomfortable. So I want them to feel at their most comfortable while we're shooting, to the image reveal and the product delivery. Everything throughout, it's about the whole overall enveloped experience.
You know, I remember the very first time when I actually did a photo shoot, and it was nothing nearly close to boudoir. I mean, it was really fully clothed and everything, but it was just, it's an intimidating experience
Absolutely.
at first, right? And I mean, I've been very fortunate to work with photographers who have been, you know, friends or
Yes.
very close acquaintances,
Right.
right? So I knew the people that I was working with, but I mean, it's just such a comforting thing to actually have some sort of a rapport. But it is intimidating because you're,
Absolutely.
you know, you're thinking to yourself, well, how do I look and how do I sound? Not sound, but how do I kind of, what's the image that I project out there? So, and when you're actually able to, you know, work with someone who makes you feel comfortable and also kind of shows you the process
Yes,
of how
absolutely.
it happens. It's such a rewarding thing, because I do remember having those moments where I thought to myself, oh my God, that looks so good. Let me keep on working.
Well, it's natural, I think, to feel as the shoot's going on. I mean, most women are not models that are coming to me for boudoir shoots, so
Which is
they're,
the most wonderful thing.
yes, absolutely. But they're always wondering, well, I wonder if I'm doing this right, or how do I look? That's why I'm constantly showing them images on the back of the camera to assure them that, yes, you look beautiful here, and so on. I also want to say that boudoir isn't necessarily about lingerie. You don't have to wear lingerie for a boudoir shoot. You can wear whatever makes you feel empowered, whatever makes you feel sexy. If that's jeans and a cut-off t-shirt, to lingerie, to a bra and panties, whatever you want. It doesn't have to be about lingerie.
what am I gonna wear for my boudoir shoot? I'm thinking now. Now I gotta come up with this solution.
A chef's hat.
A chef's hat, yes. Now, one last thing I wanted to ask you. What are the main misconceptions that people have about boudoir photography? Because it really isn't vulgar and
No.
it's very tasteful. But what are the misconceptions out there?
I think, as I was saying, the lingerie thing is a very big misconception. It doesn't have to be lingerie. Second of all, as you mentioned, vulgarity. The shoots are done in a very tasteful manner, classy. It's not vulgar at all. I think those two are two of the biggest misconceptions. And that you have to be a certain weight to do it, or you have to be a certain age. None of that matters. You should want to capture how you are at that moment, so you can have something to look back and look at those images and say, wow, I was damn hot 5 years ago when I did my shoot. I think it's time for another one. I think that's a big misconception as well. Those
Such
are a few.
Cool thing. Such a cool thing. Brad, I think we got some really great, boudoir photography 101.
Yeah.
So this is really a good base. And, is there any way to set up your very own boudoir shoot?
Yes, just reach out to me via email, brad@visuphoria.ca. You can go to my website, www.visuphoria.ca, or you can give me a call, either or.
Amazing. I will make sure that I post all the details, how you can reach out to Brad. And Brad, I can't thank you enough. This was so much fun.
Thank you so much for your time, Emanuela. It was an absolute pleasure being here and interviewing with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I want to thank you all for joining me for another episode of Sensual Talk. I hope that you are just as inspired as I am. I think I'm going to do a boudoir photo shoot of my very own. I want to thank you all for joining us. I want to thank Dronish Media for sponsoring yet another presentation. And we will see you next time on Sensual Talk. I'm Emanuela Fernandes. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
All right, did we have fun?
We did have fun.
All
That was
right,
good.
great. What a hot evening here in Toronto, right?
Well, that went a lot quicker than I thought it would.